Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to show you 5 simple exercises that you can use to improve your close control dribbling so you can maneuver around the pitch with the ball super glued to your foot. Just before we get into them, I want to say a huge thank you to Umbro for sponsoring today's video. And if you want to check out any of the pieces that I'm wearing today, as well as some of my personal handpicked favorites, I'll leave a link to them in the description box down below, so go and check those out. But let's get to work. The first exercise develops our dribbling foundation, the ability to carry the ball with speed while keeping it under control. So to do this, I've set up 2 gates about 15 steps apart, and we're just going to be dribbling in a straight line. But what's really important with this exercise is that you master the correct technique. So to dribble with speed and control, the area of the foot we want to use is about level with the little toe. If we draw a line from the little toe up our foot, this wide area towards the outside of our foot is not only going to allow us to get a clean connection on the ball because the surface area is wide, but it also allows us to run in a natural position. So as I touch the ball, I'm able to plant my foot down and take my next step. So it's a very natural technique to dribble with speed and control. So we want to connect through the middle of the ball. That's going to allow us to keep it under control. If we connect too high on the ball, we might trip over it. If we connect too low on the ball, you might lift it, and then you can start losing control of the ball. So making sure we're connecting through the middle of the ball with each touch, and our goal is to take a touch of the ball with every step. This keeps the ball close to our body, so if a defender tries to lunge in and take it away from us, it's under our control so we can manipulate it away from them. But it also allows us to travel with speed because we've got a low center of gravity by having a slight bend in the knees. Chest is slightly over the ball, and we're keeping it under full control by taking a touch of it with every step. So to begin with, while you're mastering this technique, go slowly. The key here is to try and take a touch of the ball with every step. So however quickly you can go while keeping control of it, start there. And once you've mastered that speed, try and go a little bit quicker. But if the ball starts getting away from you, slow it down once again and build the speed up gradually over time. So we're taking a touch of the ball with every step, keeping it under control, and then stopping it at the gate. We can rest for 10 seconds, and we can repeat this exercise 10 times. Again, build that speed up gradually, and then as you start to master that, start to lift the head, because as you're carrying the ball around the pitch, you want to be able to see your teammates, opponents, and all the space and options available to you. 10 repetitions, and then we'll move into exercise 2. Exercise 2 is diagonal dribbles. So having the ability to change angles with the ball while keeping it under close control and dribbling at speed is going to make you a really effective dribbler. So to set this up, I've placed down 2 cones as my starting gate. I've got a cone 4 steps, 45 degrees from there. 5 steps across, 45 degrees until we reach a gate on the opposite side. The key with this exercise is to make sure we're changing speed. If you're always going at the exact same speed, you become predictable as a dribbler. So if you can go slow to fast, fast to slow, it's going to be really difficult for defenders to keep up with you and predict your next movement. So we're going to keep it under close control, just as we did with the first exercise, working on that nudging technique, connecting through the middle of the ball, trying to take a touch of the ball with every step. And we're going to dribble out to the first cone with speed, slow it down around the cone, then increase the speed, slow it down, increase the speed, slow it down. Repeat this pattern all the way across. So really focusing on changing the speed with the ball. So we explode out, drive with the ball, then as we get to the corner, we slow it down, and then we accelerate again. So it's fast, slow, fast, slow, fast. As you can see, keeping the ball close to my feet. It's not getting away from me and getting back to the start. So you can go there and back. That's 1 repetition. Rest for a couple of seconds in between. Once you get back to the starting point, rest for 10 to 20 seconds. You can repeat this 5 times through. Moving into exercise 3. Now we're working on really subtle changes of direction with the ball, which can be really effective when dribbling 1v1 against an opponent. In exercise 2, we were making more emphasized changes of direction, which are great if you have a defender on your back and you're slowing down, speeding up, changing angle of the ball to lose them. Now if we go at our opponent and we have the ability to take a slight touch to the right, to the left, then back to the right, as many times as you want. It's going to be so unpredictable, really difficult to defend against. So we're going to work on developing that skill while keeping it under close control and increasing the speed as we gain confidence with it. So to set up exercise 3, I've placed down a gate, 1 step apart, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then each of these cones is 2 steps apart. So we've got 4 placed down here, then another 5 steps to the finishing gate. At first, we're just working on close control. So the technique that we've developed so far, connecting with the middle of the ball, low center of gravity, using the outside of our foot, we're going to weave in and out of the cones. And to begin with, you can take multiple touches. As many touches as you can get in the short time frame is really going to develop that control. So we're going to go towards the cones, and it's lots of little touches, inside and outside of your foot. Then we accelerate off to the opposite side. You can rest for 10 seconds. Then we repeat back to the start. So lots of little touches. Start to lift your eyes so you can see the space, weave in and out, and then back to the starting point. Then once you gain confidence, moving the ball slightly from side to side with close control, now we're going to start to increase the speed. So what I want you to eventually get to is the ability to take 1 touch in between each of those middle cones. So we're going to keep close control, touch the ball with every step, and then we take 1 touch through, 1 touch through, 1 touch through, and accelerate. We're going to be more efficient with our touches the more comfortable we get on the ball. So then as you get confident with that, you can start to increase the speed. So touches, 1, 2, 3, and accelerate. And get back to the starting point. So the key of this exercise is to be really subtle with those touches. It's a slight change of direction of the ball. That slight change of direction could be all you need to get that defender biting in that direction, and then you can take the ball in the opposite direction. So start slowly with this one. I'd recommend doing 5 repetitions, so there and back as 1, with close control, taking multiple touches through those center cones. And then once you've gotten confident with that, start to increase the speed, trying to take 1 touch with each change of direction, and then go for 5 repetitions. For exercise 4, we're working on sharp turns. The ability to dribble with the ball, with the defender chasing you, stopping the ball and changing direction sharply can be absolutely lethal. You're going to use all that defender's momentum against them if they're chasing you aggressively. As you stop, they're going to continue for at least a second until they react to the movement, but by that time you've changed direction and you're already away. So to set up this exercise, I've got 4 gates. So between the first gate and the second is 1, 2, 3. And between the first gate and the final gate is 12 steps. Then we have another gate in front of that, 3 steps in. So what we're going to do is start at this bottom gate here. We're going to accelerate with the ball to this first gate, stop the ball sharply, accelerate back to the starting point, stop the ball again, then we accelerate all the way up to the top. So we're doing 2 very sharp turns, and then we're accelerating away. What's really important is as you get that defender off balance, it's important to then exploit the space and accelerate away. That's how you get away from them. So we do 2 sharp turns and then accelerate. You can work on inside foot turns, outside foot turns, but what's really important is that you keep the ball close to you throughout the entire exercise. We're not kicking the ball out of our feet and running. We want to keep it glued to our foot. So we accelerate, stop, accelerate, stop, and accelerate all the way up to the top, taking a touch of the ball with every step, using the same technique we've mastered in the other exercises. So for this one, I'd recommend going from 1 gate to the opposite. That's 1 repetition, and then doing 6 in total, resting for 10 to 15 seconds between each one to make sure it's explosive. And moving into the 5th and final exercise, and now up until this point, we've been working within specific parameters and relatively tight spaces in order to develop the precision of our touch. But now we're going to open that space up and take those parameters away. Because although cones are great for working on the precision of our touches, what's really important is that we try and replicate the game with our dribbling. Because once you step out on the pitch, there isn't any cones, you have complete freedom. So the perfect way to end this session is to take that technique that we've mastered, keeping the ball close to our foot, moving around with a low center of gravity, and working around a space with absolutely no restrictions whatsoever. So to do this, I've placed down 2 gates, a starting gate and an ending gate. Now what's really tempting is to dribble in a straight line to get there as quickly as possible. But what I want you to do in this scenario is use your imagination. Dribble around the space, imagining there's defenders there, imagining where the space might open up. So you might be dribbling slowly in one direction, keeping it under control, then accelerating in another direction, slowing down, speeding up, working on all the elements that we've been developing throughout this entire training session. So now we're using our imagination and making it more like the game. So we're just going to start at one gate. We might start moving in one direction, change direction of the ball, speed up, slow down. Again, keeping control of the ball, might throw some body feints in, and we're going to get through that gate eventually, but we're not going in a straight line. We're going to make use of the entire space we have available. Then rest here for 10 to 15 seconds, and then repeat again. So we go out to one direction, speed up, slow down, change direction of the ball, low center of gravity, getting as many touches as you can until you reach the starting point once again. You don't even need to throw any skills or moves in there. If you have the ability to keep the ball glued to your foot, speed up with the ball, slow down and change direction, you're going to be very hard to defend against. So for this final exercise, I'd recommend dribbling there, resting 10 to 15 seconds, dribbling back, and repeat this 5 times. So you're going to do 10 lengths in total, but 5 complete repetitions back to the starting point. So there we have it, 5 exercises that you can use to help you maneuver around the pitch with the ball glued to your foot. And just before you go, make sure you head over to the link in my description if you want to check out any of the items that I'm wearing today, as well as some of my hand-picked favorites from Umbro. Huge thank you to them for sponsoring today's video. That link will be in the description box down below. But if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you smash the like button, hit that subscribe button for weekly training videos, and I will see you guys in my next video.